Wolf, aka the spiritual black John Wick. Listen, let me tell you something. Spiritual warfare is done through mental warfare, which honestly is the same thing. Non-spiritual people, they call it mental warfare. Spiritual people call it spiritual warfare, right? Now, there's actual, spell work and stuff like that that some people do, but I don't really believe in that stuff. Um, um, there are practitioners out there, but they've been passing it down from generation to generation. Random people doing it now, picking up because it's trending. Not so much. What they're really doing is mental warfare, right? It's wordplay. It's mental manipulation through trying to be a wordsmith, trying to form a way of criticizing you, putting you down, without you really being able to notice, and also without you really being able to say anything because they haven't said anything directly to you. So this is what they really do. Now, I want to give you a couple examples of some of the spiritual warfare and then ways to combat it. Now, this can be done from many different kinds of people. You never know. It could be one of your church going friends, family members. It could be co-workers. It could be, I don't even know, man. Random people that have noticed you on Facebook. It could be, if you're posting content up, which pretty much everybody, is posting up content. It could be some of the people in your friends list, where you're posting up content. Now, we all know about evil eye. Put my mic up. Turn the mic on. Yeah, we all know about evil eye and all that kind of stuff, but I'm talking about like the mental warfare. Now, mental warfare from these kind of low vibrational people, what they'll do is disguise it, right? They try to disguise it with a bunch of, you know, clever verbiage they picked up from online or what they've overheard other people say. And so it can be disguised like a backhanded compliment. Now you're going to know that there's something fishy about it because, when someone gives a compliment, anyone that's moving with good intentions, they don't have the need to put a critique, along with that compliment. Or some people even do something like, don't let it go to your head. Well, if you don't want me to let it go to my head, why mention it in the first place? Like what would be the problem with it going in someone's head if the compliment is brought up with good intentions? So I just don't know, man. I don't know. So here's my thing about it, right? The way that you combat this kind of stuff is, of course, not to listen to anyone. But 333 on a timer, as I said that, and about to say this, man, look, when people are speaking to you, you have to know how to have the ability to know that you're listening to someone that's speaking in a way that doesn't align with whatever you have going on in your life, whatever you're doing, whatever your mission is, to be able to notice it. And it's going to be something where the person's kind of, what they're saying, it kind of seems kind of fishy, like, what did they just say? And then whenever you're listening to it, listen to what they say, because again, the devil likes to disguise, their wicked nature by, giving you a compliment in the beginning and then backing it up with a bunch of shady, backhanded, all the stuff they really want to say. So it goes something like, oh, you guys like that. You're letting people get in your energy, and this this is witchcraft in a way, because what it does is it might get into your psyche, and there's no reason for it to be there in the first place. I know not to listen to it, but some people, they drop their guard when this person, it's going to be somebody, it's not going to be some rando, it's going to be somebody that they're going to say it, and they're going to start it off with a compliment that they know that you're going to like, and then and then they follow it up with a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need to hear. And the goal in this is to get, because what happens is when they do this, those are the things that they're saying behind your back. Like that's how I know exactly what my enemies are saying. When a person volunteers critiques that are not needed, this is the stuff that's being said about you behind your back. So I just sit back and let them say whatever they have to say, and I'll let them finish, and I'll let them know, like, hey, listen, I didn't ask for that. I don't really care what you think, but I'll also take note of what was said, because this person is letting you know what the real. Because if they had nothing to say about you, you know what I'm saying, or if they had no junk to talk about you, then they wouldn't have any critiques. I don't have any critiques for any of my friends. I don't have anything that I gossip about. I don't do small talk like that. You know what I'm saying? So this is a spiritual warfare, because a lot of people are dabbling in spirituality and they're trying to cause confusion. See, this is the way that they'll try to move, because they don't. Modern spiritual warfare is a lot of mental attacks. They're trying their best to get into your psyche, but the deal is, if you don't let them in your psyche, they can't do anything. So it's called controlling your opposition. Make sure that you're not letting just like if it's a group of people that are consecutively dropping a bunch of negative stuff, stop watching. And if it's a certain content creator, that every time you see them, they're talking about other people, in a crazy way. This kind of stuff, man, it'll lower, because it's like you don't know who they're. It's all these different it's all these different channels where they're just like, yeah, these people, this person, that kind of stuff, man, is like not specific enough. It's not helping out nobody in no one's situation. And again, it's just mental warfare. They're really online talking junk about somebody, harvesting the energy off of whoever the followers are. So or wherever they're at, the coworkers or the family members or whatever. So again, this is one way that they use spiritual warfare. And how to combat this is when you're listening to someone and you're not asking for a critique and they're giving it to you anyway. And a critique is anything. Don't let stuff slide. A lot of people let little things slide. Like somebody will say something like, man, you was really roughing it out at a certain point in time. Who asked you to tell me what you think you saw? That is spiritual warfare. Who asked you to tell me what you think you saw? And then a lot of times they'll like try to overly talk about whatever it is you went through and barely even speak about where you're at right now or your potential, right? This is spiritual warfare, y'all. This is spiritual warfare. Everyone's being trained to be a narcissist, which is the devil, one of the devil's highest level demons. So everybody has these narcissistic tendencies that are being taught to them by society, that's saying, oh, fake it till you make it, step on anyone to get to the top. To do things like this, you are showing a whole bunch of narcissistic traits, right? And a lot of people just don't really care anymore. And they want to see if they can project onto other people, gain control of them. And they're weaponizing social media. So the one way that I combat all my issues is I already know. A lot of people like to weaponize social media. So, again, whether it's someone messaging me on Facebook or getting in contact with me, and then they have something to say, like, oh man, it's good to hear from you. Da, 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 da. You shouldn't be bringing up anything that anyone went through. And if you do, you briefly say something about it. You say, I'm glad to see you doing a lot better. And that's it. You don't say anything else. If you are saying anything else, you're really just trying to get your point across. You have some things that you've been wanting to say to this person and you want to get it off your chest. Well, some things you need to keep to yourself. And recognize spiritual warfare whenever it's happening to you. Don't just like I let it slide. And no, man, listen. No one needs to be volunteering and telling you whatever they think that they've observed or their perspective or whatever. Unless you're harming someone or harming yourself. And none of y'all are out there harming anyone. So no hate when you see hate. You know what I'm saying? Don't shrug it off or be like, ah, no hate when you see hate. Okay. Listen, armor yourself up with God. Make sure you're praying. Chosen ones, I'm telling you, I'll tell you again, when you're out here doing great things, you attract a lot of people. You attract good and you attract bad. Okay? It's your nature because what I'm saying, your duality, right? What I'm saying, you got your energies balanced, so you got your yin and your yang balanced, your good, your good side, your light side, and your dark side, or whatever, your shadow. So it's going to attract people. 1111 on the timer. It's going to attract people. See that? It's going to attract people that are in lower vibration. That was a grown man, revving his engine to another grown man, flirting. I'm not wanting to be flirted with by another man. Why are you trying to show off to a dude? Whatever, man. Listen, the devil will do whatever they got to do to distract you from whatever you have going on and will work through any lower vibrational vessel that they can. It can. So, whenever you have anyone out here having something to say or trying to be involved in your energy without your consent, no, this is a demon. It is a demon. I don't care what they say. It's some dark triad, narcissistic, Machiavellian type of demon who don't have any control of themselves. I'm trying to tell y'all. So, I mean, look, you're out here doing whatever you're doing, and even your friends and family don't try to tell you about yourself or tell you what you need to work on or tell you how foolish you looked at some point in time. No, 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 no. You don't need to be hearing nothing like that. Anyway, who's to say whatever perspective that person noticed or that person and their group noticed, if that's the perspective of everybody else, it's definitely not your perspective. Haters, man. Haters. And it'll be the people closest to you or some people that you know. It won't be no rando stranger. It'll be some people that you know. You know what I'm saying? Or people that think that they know you. So again, just keep shining bright, doing what you're doing. Whenever you're shining bright, you will get the light. The only issue that you're going to have is until you get to a certain level at your job or on social media clout, you're going to hear more from the haters than you'll hear from the supporters. It just is what it is. Nothing to it. Don't worry about it. Give it time, and you'll eventually get to the place where your supporters are wanting to show you more support than allowing your haters to show you that they can't stand you. So, but it takes some time because you got to build your base or whatever, and people got to understand that you're coming from a good place. But for a little while, you're gonna have the haters being a lot more loud, speaking more loudly than your supporters, and a lot of haters know you're not going to listen to them. So the backhanded compliment is a narcissist wet dream, to be able to lure you in to a whole hateful message by starting it off with a semi compliment, or a whole compliment, and then to follow it up with just, sentence after sentence of what this person perceived to be one of your weaker points, where how like somebody will try to call themselves being embarrassed for you. Don't be embarrassed for me, fool. You ain't got to watch anything. It's embarrassing to me that you think that you need to take on embarrassment for me. You know what I'm saying? And you could just not watch anymore until I get to a better place or never again. So it's a tactic used mostly by covert narcissists, and most of these covert narcissists are females. I'm just going to be real. I'm just going to be real. And the social media is being used as their favorite weapon of choice because, if you don't know this, lower vibrational people, especially covert narcissistic females, they like to gather information on you when you're dating them or you don't know the narcissist, and that's why people shouldn't be talking to them too much. Move in silence when you meet people, because some of these people are narcs. They're trying to gather information, so in the event that don't work out or the first argument, they're throwing stuff back in your face. Again, this is spiritual warfare, right? taking some stuff that they know from you and distorting it, perverting it, and then, throwing it back in your face in a weird way. You're not opening up and telling someone, back in the day about, how you used to be kind of a player, or, you're not opening up and telling anyone about how back in the day, what I'm saying, you may have had like weight issues or something. And then the minute that you get into it, or have a disagreement, they throw it right in your, that's spiritual warfare, man. It's a attempt to take a jab at your soul of some of the deepest things that they feel like they can bring up to you. You got to be armored up with God, and you got to know what you're seeing. And you guys have the ability to see. It's just making sure you don't ignore it when you see it. You know what you see, it's something that bothers your ears to hear. So pay attention to it. Don't just shrug it off like, no, 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 no. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these people, because when you let these people play in your energy and you don't kick them out of your energy like you're supposed to, whatever karma they get for messing with you, whatever karma they got coming to them for messing with innocent people, period, you might end up, catching a stray. That's why as soon as I realize, if it's just a content creator I'm watching, if it sounds like they're always negative and they're shading somebody all the time, talking about some archetype, or talking about men all the time in some crazy way, block. And when I say all the time, I mean like the second video I watch, I see it again, block. I don't let any of that crap in my feed. Your phone is damn near a part of you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's doggone near a part of you. Whatever you be thinking about, and that phone will pop it up in one of these search engines, and you're like, man, I was just thinking about that. So you can't be letting somebody with negative energy just fester in your device. That nah, 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 nah. Block them, and that's your greatest weapon, is to be able to go no contact and to be able to block people, with extreme prejudice. Like, you're not concerned about what they're going to say. However, they try to gaslight you. What does it matter? You'll never see it because you got them blocked. Block them. Preserve your energy. Listen, y'all, I'm not going to hold y'all too much longer. I appreciate y'all. Way more content coming on this channel over here. It's about making sure that you're spiritually protected and that you know that God's got you. And we're gonna cover different spiritual tactics to, ward off your enemies. And once the channel gets bigger and we got memberships, then we'll go in more depth on how you need to avoid most spiritual people, because what they're doing is they're really just people that don't believe in God, and they're trying to attach themselves to some type of religion or something, so they don't seem like they're a complete, weirdo or whatever. So you have to be careful with these people out here. Most of them that's calling themselves spiritual. But anyway, y'all, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Make sure y'all smash that like button. It helps spread the channel through the algorithm. So smash that like button. Go ahead and share the live to whoever. And also subscribe if you haven't. And leave a comment. I'd love to hear from y'all. Peace, love, and light. I'm your brother, and I'm out.